Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the show, I just want you to know that today's episode of the Colum Tyrrell podcast is brought to you by the Jews. The Jews, as you may or may know, they killed Jesus. They killed him good. And kind of backfired, actually. Now, if you think about it, of all the things that the Jews did, killing Jesus was a little bit of a misstep. Cause I gotta tell you, the Christian, have a look around. Have a look around you. We got fucking school kids are quarreling something and ba la la dee ba da doo. It's the most wonderful time of the year because of the Jews. So maybe, I don't know, do you have to thank them? We had a glow up, someone would say. The original glow up was Christianity. Jesus showed up, ba-doom, doesn't know his father, ba-doom. Just showed, we just picked a random one. We just picked a random lady. What was I need to reread. I'm not going to reread this. This is the next time this episode comes out will be New Year's Eve, but so Christmas will be long over now. But why did they pick Mary? Does anyone know? What was so special about Mary? I know she was fucking 13. Oof. Little Middle Eastern 13-year-old. What? That's top shelf. All right, I gotta slow down. But whether you like it or not, the Jews did kill Jesus, and they really just created a very a diplomatic absolute disaster. We used that information and we went, fuck it, you kill Jesus, we'll see about that. And then Christianity just exploded. Like, if the Jews never killed Jesus, if they knew better, leave well enough alone. Right? I don't know. Pontius Pilate, he sold Jesus out. I remember that. I remember Pontius Pilate was like, he was looking at Jesus and they all went out for Applebee's the night before. And Jesus was like, come on, you little fucking snake. Pontius, I know you. If Pontius Pilate was around today now, he'd be selling information to TMZ. And I don't know why he ratted him out. Does anyone know that either? For such a big fucking holiday, I know fuck all about it. But I know the good point, the good parts is that Mary, who was 13, I believe, she got pregnant, but Angel Gabriel, he showed up and went, you're pregnant. And then Joseph was like, no, she wouldn't lie to me. And everyone goes, And as far as I know, that's what the Protestants are. They don't believe that to be the case. A lot of people ask me about, the civil war that was, aka the Troubles up in Northern Ireland, up in Belfast with the Irish car bombs, up the Ra, shout out to the Ra. And when this holiday season, when you're drinking Irish car bombs with your mates down your local pub, just remember that the Irish car bomb in itself is one of those domino effects. What do they call that when you go back in time and you kill a butterfly, and years later your wife has small tits? What is the is it the Mandela effect, like Nelson Mandela? Whatever it is, the point being is the Irish car bomb is because of fucking the Jews. No. The Irish car bomb. Yeah, it's because of the fucking Jews. Yeah, it's because of the Jews. And I'll I'm like Eddie Bravo now. Everything eventually comes back around to the Jews. The Irish, and this is it. All right, this is my thesis statement, and I'll let you know. This is how I can say that the Irish car bomb the drink is because of the Jews, right? Jesus was born in Bethlehem or Nazareth, one of them. I can't remember which. And he was either heading northbound to Nazareth or he went southbound to Jerusalem or whatever. Anyway, he was over there now where we have the West Bank with Hamas. And he was born without his mother getting a ride. His mother just showed up a virgin. Now Joseph, I don't know why Joseph, was Joseph a pig's ear? God forbid. But Joseph may have been batting for the other team, I reckon. I think Joseph may have had a little bit of an Elton John situation going on here. Joseph was off doing woodwork with the boys. He was a carpenter. He was off with the fellas. He worked nights, if you know what I mean. Oh no, we had a big one of the houses needed an extension. Which, by the way, every time I've seen any of the drawings of Christmas or anything like that, they're all in like mud houses and shit. It's not. They're in the desert and it's mud houses and donkeys and. Oh, I guess they had the barn where Jesus was born, so I guess there was a little bit of a need for a carpenter back then. Great job, union job. Joseph was a union lad. He paid his dues. He fucking. It was the holidays, and they had to go and register. It was during Christmas, no less. The overtime he gave up to go and fucking register the kid that Christmas, and eventually, Jesus, who was just a regular fella. Jesus was just a regular fella, and sometimes he turned fish into lots of fishes, and sometimes he turned water into wine. But when the Jews killed him, which is a fact, he rose from the dead, and that made him a god, which is why we believe in him, which created Catholicism, which created Christianity. Now, somewhere along the lines in Christianity, Protestants and Catholics split, and one of the things that Catholics believe, which is me, the Irish, right? We believe that Mary was a virgin when she got pregnant. We believe in immaculate conception. She just happened to be praying and got pregnant. Now the Proddies, with their fucking suit jackets, they and their condoms, right? They believe that Mary actually was not a virgin. They believe that Mary fucked Joseph. And that's why there's such a sectarian violence in the island, is because one of them believes in Mary being a virgin and the other one does not. And so they would throw bombs at each other and they would blow each other's, in an about way about it, right? So the Irish car bombs inherently are because of the Jews. The Jews made Jesus a god, and so that's my argument there. So if you're enjoying a Irish car bomb this year, just say give thanks to the Jews. Shout out to the Jews. Shout out to the Jews. Shout out to the Jews. I'm in Ireland right now, and they wouldn't be big fans. They play a dangerous little game called "Are we anti-genocide or are we anti-Semites? Are we anti-genocide or are we anti-Semitic? Ireland for Christmas is the best place to be. Ding, 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 ding. We don't think that you should be blowing up Palestinians, and we believe, coincidentally, they also run the media and the Jews, and so that's that. So as of right now, I'm in a country that is not This is the thing, though, you know, there's a lot of Irish anti opinions about America, right? They unfortunately, in order to make themselves feel better, the Irish picture and the American as, like, you know, big, fat retard with 2 T and the Make America Great hat, and he's like, we gonna blow up Palestinians. You know, like, they do have this image. You know that fat inbred dipshit. That's the image of America, the Irish people. And of course we're better than that person. Everyone's better than that person. But I don't think they realise the actual complexities of how big America is, how many different people are over there, how many different types of people, personalities, hobbies, interests, political beliefs, how much of a disdain there is for the American government from their own people. I don't think they take that into account. And whether you like it or not, if the government in every country, they spend your tax money, they spend your taxes on shit you don't agree with or that you don't want. So in America, I've got a part of my taxes goes towards creating, funding, and giving bombs to Israel to blow the fuck out of Palestinian babies. And the rest of my taxes are wasted the rest of my taxes, I don't know what they're doing with it. That's a funny take. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's Christmas here. Bah humbug, 'twas Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. Christmas Eve here in, well, it's actually the night before Christmas Eve, but I'll update this tomorrow. No video. I'm on the road. I don't bring cameras with me anymore. It's not worth the fucking effort of carrying them around. But yeah, welcome to the Colum Tyrrell podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I'm here at home in Ireland for Christmas, and you know, obviously, what happens? You come home and you spend time with family for the holidays, and it takes about 4.5 minutes before you're like, all right, is this over yet? For fuck's sake. What the fuck? I'm too old to do this traveling shit. I need my routine. I need to get up in the morning, have my oatmeal and my protein shakes, and go to the fucking gym. And I need to fucking have my DraftKings account so I can lose my money on a fucking 10-game parlay. America. For the holiday season. But yeah, been home here for a few days, and I'm missing America right now. And it's sad because I'm becoming 10 years I've been living in the States, and you know, that's most of me grown up life. You know, if you consider when I was 18, I moved over when I was 24, so 6 years I had as a grown up in Ireland, and now I'm 10 years here. So, you know, soon enough will be half my life. And there was a woman in New York City, and she was burnt to death on the subway. She was asleep, and an illegal immigrant, I don't know what he was, Ecuadorian, Guatemalan, Peruvian, Venezuelan, Chilean. Not Argentina. We like Argentina. And now, is that coincidentally because they're all white? Could be. Don't know. Not for me to say. But he, I guess he doused this homeless woman in alcohol and set her like a light. Like something out of a fucking Vinnie Jones. Something out of a Guy Ritchie movie. Oi, oi! I said turn down the fucking TV, you cunt! He's a fucking mad one, he is. Oh, fuck off. If me auntie had balls, she'd be me uncle, but she's fucking not. We're going down there. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. And yeah, that's what he did. So I wish you the best. If that's not the sign of a good city, it happens. All right? I know you live in fucking Galway, Ireland, where no one's ever burnt anyone else alive. Or you live in where'd you live? I want to find out where you live. Let me know where you fucking live before you start to point out that every now and again, someone on a subway in New York City is going to be burnt alive. Sometimes you are standing there minding your own business and a crazy man will slash you in the face and you have a scar going across your face for the rest of your life. But it's New York. Get a pizza slice. Were you burnt to death? I wasn't. I don't want to victim blame here. But what were you doing? What were you doing on the train asleep? It's Christmas. At Christmas time, it's hard when you're burning up. There's a girl on fucking fire in the F train, Coney Island. And the police don't do nothing because people are so violent. Burn a homeless woman to the ground. So sorry about that. Bad way to go. But at least you made the news, right? At least you made the news. Because if she fucking froze to death, everyone would be like, fucking got a job, you bitch. Now we burned her to the ground. And I was like, no. Just minding our own business, getting burnt to the ground. And it happens. This is just, it's Christmas. There's no other way around it. Christmas in New York. Got the rock, you got the tree up. You're running around Macy's. Everyone's got the lights on the pubs. You're having a Guinness. A nice Guinness with an open fire. Christmas Eve, some Baileys on ice. And a homeless woman filleted to death. The real question you should be is, wherever your city is going, why don't we have good public transport? Why don't we have a fucking train to get us around the place? Why don't we have a subway system? Why don't we have the tube in London? It's what you should be. This is it. It's New York. That's just it. They get burnt to the ground by illegal immigrants sometimes, and you don't know what was going on. You don't know. Maybe she said something to him. Right? Maybe she said something. Maybe he mistook her for a health insurance CEO. Do you ever think about that? If I was him now, if I was this little Miguel, this little illegal Miguel, he should say and make an announcement and go, whoopsie. He should say, whoopsie. I thought it was the Geico insurance lady. Does Geico insurance even cover health? But you know what I'm saying. He should have said something like that in his broken English. He'd turn around and go, oh, me so sorry. I thought she was a CEO. We were on the Jello line. I thought she was a CEO. That's what he should be doing. He should be apologizing for that stuff. But yeah, good luck out there. It's a magical time of year to be in Manhattan. Joe Biden has been pardoning people. I gotta say, this is kind of nuts. This is not something I'm actually too familiar with before, and although I don't remember Obama really pardoning anyone, and I don't really remember Trump pardoning anyone other than like a rapper. Didn't he pardon like Lil Uzi or something? One of these little black lads, one of these little rappers, he was in prison for having a gun, or a bunch of weed or something. And then Trump was like, I like him. I love him. Very good, Lil Uzi. I'm going to pardon him. That's my Trump. I'm going to pardon. Was it? I can't do it now. Think about it. I'm the best. I guess it's not that good to do it. I guess it's not that easy to do Trump. But that's what he did. But now Biden's coming along, and I know, look, the numbers are skewed. They said he's pardoned 8,000 people, which is like the second highest in history. But 6,500 of them are for non-violent weed offences, which I do believe no one gives a fuck about, right? What type of a fucking fascist cunt gives a fuck about someone dealing weed, selling weed, and like when it's illegal everywhere, right? It can't be. I just don't understand how every single fucking person in America is stoned off their tits all day, every day. Yous are all high. Everyone in America is on drugs. You don't even know it. Whether it's fucking smoking weed, or the fucking prescription pills, or the fluoride in the fucking water. Yous are fucking zombied all day. And then some lad goes to, he has like a fucking an ounce of weed, and then he gets 20 to life. So let Biden let all the weed lads out, but then the other ones are kind of questionable, right? He pardoned that fucking judge. How the fuck can that happen? First, do we think that this is okay? Like, why is the president able to just wave a magic wand and go, and forgiveness to you and you and you and you? They used to do that. I was in Thailand, and every Christmas, every time the king had his birthday, he would pardon a bunch of people. Like, it was like a special gift. And a lot of foreign prisoners got released. It was kind of just a thing that he would do. Imagine being in prison and in Thailand you can go to prison for anything. You can go to prison for just disrespecting the crown. That's how strict it is over there. Like, if you rip some money because the image of the king is on it, you go to prison. Like, if let's say I threw something and it hit an image of the king, I could go to prison for that. There was a kid who went to prison because he climbed up on a statue of the king. He was sort of just drunk and he thought it'd be funny to climb to the top of him, and they put him in prison for like 20 years. So that's the type of person. Imagine sitting there just waiting for his birthday, going, please get some good presents. Please, I hope the king got something good. I hope he got a new Xbox or something. For the love of fuck, let me leave. And when I was in Thailand, I was like, this is insane. This is an insane system that you're just hoping that this random fucker who calls himself a king is just feeling generous to the whites. And I'll let them all out. Fuck it. What's the point of the whole system? To just go, you've been punished enough. Go on now. Don't do it again, will you? And now Biden's doing that now. There was a judge who was sent to prison. The Cash for Kids judge. And this is one of the most scandalous fucking stories you ever heard in your life. Because this is the problem with the private prison system in America, is that the more prisoners you have in your prison, the more money you get from the government. You know, it's private in that way, but it's government funded, but it's a private business. You set up a prison, right? If I set up my own prison and I have 2 prisoners, the government's going to be like, all right, here's $200 a month for the prisoners. So obviously I want more money, so I want to get 1 million prisoners. So then I'm getting 200 million a fucking month, right? So they did that same shit. So what they were like, well, how do we get more prisoners? Why don't we get more people convicted of crimes? So then they went to the judge, and it was a juvenile correctional facility, and they went to the judge and they said, here's what we'll do. Every time you send someone to prison for us, we'll give you a kickback. The government's giving us 200. We'll throw you fucking 10. Everyone's a winner. So then he had 4,000 fucking kids he sent to prison. 4 fucking thousand kids sent to prison because this guy was making money off it. And then they sent it, and they gave, eventually he got caught. I don't know how he got caught. I think they had to exonerate all of those convictions. Thank fuck. And then he was given like 8 years in prison. He should have been given the fucking total amount for all of those kids. They should have added up the conviction for every single fucking one of those kids and gave that to that cunt. And then Biden shows up and goes, nah, you're good enough. Get out. Am I insane? Is this insane? Is this just a system? It just doesn't, they're just making it up. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna let you go, and I don't like the look of you. You have to stay, but you get to go. That judge probably has something on someone. There's something going on with that judge where he probably had some fucking blackmail shit somewhere in his little group. He knew there was something bigger there. Something's not right. Something doesn't make sense. Surely that's fucking like kidnapping. If you send someone against their will to somewhere, if you hold someone against their will somewhere, surely that's kidnapping, right? Didn't OJ get that when he fucking said don't move, and then they got him on a conviction charge or something? Or sorry, they got him on a kidnapping charge. What the fuck is going on? And now he's taking everyone off death row, which, you know, I don't think it's the end of the world, right? I personally don't really care if we kill prisoners. So that's kind of just, and you know what, I'm just not really that good of a person. It kind of just comes down to that, and I'll be honest, I'm just sort of not that nice. All right, Santa's coming tonight, and he's giving me some coal because, to be honest, I think if you're like a serial rapist or murderer or repeat offender with certain stuff, I think maybe we should sort of just inject you and take you out, just because it costs a lot. It sort of just costs a lot to keep you in prison, and you kind of had your shot. Like if you commit a terrorist attack and you blow up blow up the Boston Marathon, we should also kill you. Like, why not? Why not? But again, I understand that it's like, you know, I understand the argument that it's unethical for anyone to kill anyone, despite the fucking whatever. Are Christians against it? Are the fucking right wing or the fucking conservative Christians, is what I meant to say, are the extreme right conservative Christians that are anti-abortion, are they also like anti-death penalty? Or like, is there any exceptions? Because it's not self-defense. I just think they should be killed because it's kind of like, it just saves us time keeping them in prison. That's the only reason. I didn't give a fuck when the CEO got shot. I didn't give a fuck when this woman got burnt to death. And I don't really give a fuck if someone who shot up a fucking church, if someone goes into a church and shoots 10 people, I don't really give a fuck if they fry his brains out or inject some fucking chemtrails into his whatever fluoride. That's it. They've injected him with fluoride. He died with the nicest teeth I've ever seen. But you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, but I can see the argument. I can see the argument to be like, you know, socially, emotionally heightened. Also, what about some of these fuckers that want to die? You know? What about someone who's like going, I'd rather die than be in prison for another 60 years. Kill me. Take me out, please. This is boring as fuck. I'm not learning French. I'm not benching. I'm not becoming a Muslim. I'm just getting raped in the showers. Okay? Let me out of here. And they go, no, sorry, we're keeping you here. Fuck. You're trapped here now forever. I just think this is a weird thing for the president to be even thinking about. This is as far as my politics go. I don't really have very smart and political opinions. I'm too dumb. I haven't read enough books. I didn't listen in school, and I don't watch the news, right? Every 2 months I'll listen to Dave Smith's podcast, and I'll just take whatever he says and go, nah, that sounds about right to me. That's how I do it. But I'm just trying to figure out how any of this makes sense. Imagine if your fucking family got gunned down at church, a place of worship, and they sentence that guy to the death penalty, and then Biden goes, he's a good kid, Jack. Wouldn't you be mad? Why is he making these decisions? What does the president do? Are they doing anything? What is this? What are we fucking playing at? Biden doesn't know his own name. He's not making these decisions. We know that. Biden is shitting his pants daily. He fucking can't finish a sentence. And now, thanks to him, neither will the... There's like a good joke in that, you know, like Biden pardoned a bunch of people, so their sentences are now been cut short. A lot like when Biden speaks. Right? That's like something on what's it, Gutfeld. But it just, I don't know. I think we learned, if we learned one thing in the last year of America, is that Joe Biden is completely fucking, his head is soup, his brain is soup. He's got fucking soup brain. He doesn't know what's going on. He couldn't have any conversations in the lights, which means he can't be making decisions. I'm hanging out with my parents now. My dad's 70, and I don't want him driving. And I think he would fucking beat the living fuck out. He'd beat the brakes off Biden, verbally and physically. And I don't want my dad, I wouldn't trust my dad driving my kids to school. So he's obviously not in charge. Kamala Harris ran for president, and she was out and about doing the... What happens when she's... What happened to the vice president? How can you be vice president or president and then you're running for re-election? Is that written into the... Is that like written into the thing? Like, do they have that scheduled in? They go, hey, you're the president, except for these 3 months, then we put it on hold. You got PTO, paid time off. I don't understand. Surely you're the president. You don't have time to run for president if you're the president. Surely. And right now, he's sitting around pardoning fucking people that killed a bunch of black people at a church or shot up a synagogue. And is that really what they do? I just don't know. I just think this is odd. I just think it's odd. I know Trump's going to go in and he's going to pardon a bunch of people on January 6th. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck about that. There's probably some huge problem there. There's probably some huge problem about how they committed a federal crime. But it's also like, what if you accidentally open in America, if you open someone else's mail, it's a federal crime or something like that. So like, whatever you did it by accident, who gives a fuck? I think he should, let the January 6 people off. I don't really think that they were at the end of the world. But I understand. People will probably say some sort of knock-on thing. Why don't you pardon people like fucking Edward Snowden? Why don't you pardon people that actually these whistleblowers that got fucking are on the lam? They've gone to the mattresses. Right? Who's your man's name from WikiLeaks? Didn't he get kicked out? Didn't your man from WikiLeaks get kicked out of like the Swedish embassy in London because he fucking destroyed the place or something? He kept rollerblading around the place. Didn't the guy from WikiLeaks, what was his name? Nigel Farage? No. I don't know his name. I think he was. What was he on the run for? Did they get him for trying to rape a kid or something? I don't know. You wouldn't trust any of that stuff, though. That's a deep state framing a good man for raping a kid. That's actually not a bad little decision. Now, if you ever feel like you're about to get caught for raping a kid, what you should do is sort of create some sort of an anti-government website thing where you're exposing them. And then when you do get caught for the crime that you actually did commit, you can kind of be like, no, me? No. So look at the website I have. Doesn't it make sense, doesn't it, that they would frame me? like fucking Russell Brand. Russell Brand's a little bit of a raper. Raper? Sure, I hardly know her. I know. And he did that. He kind of fucking wiggled his way over to the fucking anti-people thing. Or the anti-government, the anti-thing. I've been framed. They don't want me exposing the truth, which is... I don't know if that's exactly how it worked out, but smart decision. So, I will tell you one thing. If I ever feel like I've got like a little... If I ever accidentally get myself in a little spot of bother where I've molested a child, I will be, make no mistake about it, I'm creating some sort of an anti-government website. Just so you know. I'm calling it now. I've no questions for you, folks. If you want to get your questions in, you got to go over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. We got the new merch, the local 1008, the Union merch. That's available to be won if you get your questions read on the podcast. We pick the best question from every month, but we're all out of questions, and I forgot to post looking for more. But also, this is Christmas Eve. I'll stick this up on YouTube with just a sort of a generic video of something, because I know a lot of you were complaining that the audio only goes up on the audio platforms and that you don't get a chance to watch it on YouTube, which is, I think, is one of the most batshit fucking things I've ever heard in my life. Just open Spotify or open podcast apps on your phone, or I don't know why not using YouTube is such a fucking problem for you folk, but I'll stick it up on the YouTube channel. And what day is it today? Today is Monday. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, which is Tuesday. This will be out on Tuesday morning. And then I go to London. You sound like you're from London. I'm going to London. Oi, mate. You fucking can't. I'm going to London for a few days with my beautiful fiancée after this trip. And then I'll be back for New Year's Eve. So I don't know. But there'll be another episode. I'll record it when I get home. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, easy peasy, nice little fucking episode. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you're fucking spending it with your loved ones, and if not, I hope you're eating some edibles and watching a nice movie. All right, whatever it is, I wish you luck. It is a good time of year. No matter how old I get, I do enjoy the fucking Christmas spirit. And I wish you and your family the best, and I will catch you before the end of the year. And if any of you want more episodes of the podcast, head over to patreon.com. I'll be recording another episode tomorrow, and that'll go straight up to Patreon. Patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Appreciate it. Take it easy, and happy Christmas.